Hi you guys, welcome back to another first impression video. We are looking at the new Simplicity fall, early fall, I don't know. But the new patterns that came out from Simplicity this week. If you're new here, this is the video where I take a look at all the patterns with you guys for the very first time and kind of just give my initial impressions of them. We'll talk about potential fit issues, fabrics that they suggest, kind of like just take in the overall design, and it's kind of like sitting with your bestie at Joanne and looking through the books together. So without further ado, let's jump in. We're going to skip the costumes because I don't really know how to review costumes, and just as a rule I also skip kids patterns, so we'll just be skipping those as well. But the first adult pattern we have, it is not a Simplicity fall drop without a family matching pajama set, right? They do one of these every single year. They're always very similar, but always very cringy. Like, something about the whole family matching gives me like cult vibes. I don't know why. But this one is the children, teen, and adult shorts, pants, knit top, and tunic. And it appears that they are just like, oh no, they're like Henleys. Wow. Okay, so there's like a little button up detail here on everybody's, and then we have the shorts. Obviously a problem here with the shorts. But again, that's why I don't review kids patterns, because I don't really know a lot about kids patterns and what fit issues you guys come across when you're doing them. But yeah, the little dress is pretty cute. That dress could honestly be like worn outside, like not pajamas. The Henley kind of gives it a little bit more of like a polished look. But these are knit patterns, so, well, at least the top is. So stretch knits only, like cotton jersey. See the pick a knit rule. I'm going to say this one time, and then we're going to just assume that I say it every single time a knit pattern comes along. Please start putting the percentages. If you have the pick a knit rule already established and you know that it's a 30% stretch, please put that here. That's so much easier for us to shop, okay? Thank you. All right, so, and then the pants are just like cotton blends, flannels, and a little bit of lightweight interfacing. The sizing on this is interesting. We have children's extra small through large, and then adults, teens and adults, extra small to extra large. So all in all, it covers a bust of 24 to 48. This still seems really limiting, especially for guys. What are guys' chest measurements? I have no idea. And then the hip goes up to 49. So I guess this is kind of nice to have the children's and teens section in here for people who are petite, and you usually have a hard time finding a pattern that is small enough for you, like the opposite problem of plus size patterns. So something to consider for that. Okay, next up we have Mimi's first pattern of the collection. She usually does two. This is Mrs. Pants. We have them in size 8 to 16 and 18 to 26. Jogger style pants with center front pin tucks. Have front side pockets, elastic waistband, and twill tape ties. Try and say that 3 times fast. Twill tape ties. Twill tape. It's actually kind of fun. Okay, so jogger dressy pants. There is a brand, is it Halara, that you see all the ads for, where they do this combination of like comfort, but also like you can wear it to work. Kind of like wearable pajamas is like their whole shtick. This kind of gives me those vibes. Comfortable, but you could also, it looks kind of professional. So here's that. Here's the side view. It said front side pockets, but it really just looks like inseam pockets. And then you can get a really good view of the pin tuck here. That's such a great detail. That's the front side pocket again. Okay, maybe it is a little bit of a slant pocket. Okay. Yeah, not inseam, but a bit of a slant. And then we don't get to see a picture of the back, which is, I hate that. So it is a woven pattern. Cotton blends, double knit, lightweight denim, linen blends, Ponte and stretch wovens, wool and wool blends. So it's basically elastic waist pants, right? With a drawstring, which gives them the quote unquote jogger classification. But notions wise, you just need some elastic and twill tape. So pretty affordable. And then finished garment measurements for the hip. It looks like we have 33 to 39 is, so 5.5 inches of ease in the hip. So yeah, kind of generous there. Not close fitting. If you're used to Mimi's patterns being very close fitting, this is not one of those. This one's got a pretty relaxed fit for her. I would call it not very close. I would just call it close fitting, but definitely not loose either. Okay. Next, we have this little set. Mrs. Knit tops and skirts. All the sizes are in one. So extra small to 2XL. Track suit style tops and skirts. Pullover tops have front half zipper, stand-up collar, long sleeve with cuffs and pockets. Pull-on skirts have elastic waistband with drawstring, side panels and pockets. View D skirt is ankle length and has slit openings at the legs. Okay, I actually see this one doing really, really well for them this year. This feels like where we are with athleisure now. This feels like a take on, I don't know, it's like reminding me of the Olympics a little bit, which we're on the heels of. It's feeling very, what's Kate Hudson's little brand called? Oh, I can't remember it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Fabletics. It's giving high-end athletic leisure wear. I think it's pretty cool. I do like the color blocking. Normally I'm like meh on color blocking, but this is what it looks like all one color. You can see where the style lines are there. How much fun would this be to sew? But also, like, how do you sew this? I'm assuming you sew this onto this first and then this onto the whole thing? Weird. That would be fun. There's a little skirt. Another look. Here's the back. Very slimming. To have the little racing stripes on the side. Yeah, super cool. And by itself, I kind of love a cropped jacket on its own, even if you didn't make a matching set. So this is cotton knits. They're calling for cotton knits, French terry, sweatsuit fleece. Why can I not talk today? Sweatshirt fleece. Then the pick a knit rule again. And then lining in tricot. How much of that lining do you need? Just a little bit. So maybe just for the collar, I'm guessing. Or maybe the waistband too. Yeah, so I was picturing sweatshirt fleece. It's going to have to be a knit fabric that doesn't have that much stretch to it. Well, although the skirt was pretty close fitting, what is the hip? So finished hip measurement has, do the math, 3.5 inches of ease. So it does have positive ease. So yeah, you could definitely get away with sweatshirt fleece. You could even do Ponte, which would kind of give it like a little bit more of an elevated look. Double knit would be great. Any of those knit fabrics that are kind of chunky and don't have a ton of stretch to them, I think would work really, really well. No drape, none of that kind of stuff. Structured, kind of weighty knits. You do need a zipper, elastic, and a drawstring. So not super expensive. Plus these types of fabrics can be affordable if you know where to look. Yeah, and then it goes sizing wise 29.5 to 48 in the bust and 31.5 to 50 in the hip body measurements. So, you know, pretty all encompassing there of their, I mean, it does go from the simplicity numbers 4 to 26. That's their full misses range. So that's about as good as you're going to get in terms of inclusivity on a misses pattern from Simplicity. And all the sizes come in one, so that's really nice too. All right, check out this little number. This is a Mrs. Cape. Sizing on this one is small to 1X. So this one they left off the extra small and the 2XL. Why? No idea. I'm assuming it has something to do with how many pattern pieces fit on a certain number of pieces of tissue. But I don't know. I mean, how much can a piece of tissue actually cost? You know? Anyways, capes with front zipper opening have patch pockets with flaps and snap closures. View A and B have a collar. View C has a hood and belt with purchase buckle. View B and C have placket with snap closure covering zipper. That's a nice detail. Okay, so it is a cape, but it's one of those that doesn't have a side seam. You guys, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I have this thing with capes. Like, how do you drive in some of these cape patterns? Like, how do you lift your elbows? Like, you only have range of motion from like your elbow down. So like, how do you drive? This one is driver friendly. Driver friendly. It does seem very simple to sew up. I mean, it's basically a giant circle, and then they've added a collar or a hood, zipper or button placket, and then your choice of patch pockets. This one's really cute, kind of a take on one of those like hunter jackets. I do love it with a flare. That's pretty. The belt is a nice touch too, to kind of give your body some shape, to kind of pull it in. Here's the back. Yeah, great little something just to throw on. It would also be great out of water resistant fabric. So they're suggesting outerwear fabrics, water resistant fabrics, wool blends. And then you can do the neck or the collar out of a contrast faux leather, but also in that you could include shearling, you could include like fur maybe. I mean, really, you could do that out of anything. Any of those kind of specialty type fabrics, suede, corduroy, all that. Okay, so notions wise, you need a 28-inch separating jacket zipper. Those are pretty expensive. 12 snaps and a belt buckle. So the notions on this one are pretty pricey. They will add up. So try and find your fabric on clearance. Can you even get, you can get 45-inch fabric, but you need 3.5 inches of it. Because I was thinking for the flannels, they usually come in 45-inch. And 1.25 yards of interfacing too. So yeah, this is a pricey project for something that's really kind of simple. And then no helpful finished garment measurements, but honestly, like, you're going to base it off of your upper bust so that the collar looks good and the collar fits, and then everything else is kind of negligible. So I kind of get why they didn't include them. But something really cute, I think. Okay, here's Norris. This is Mimi's husband. It's a pattern for this collection. Men's sweatshirt and sweatpants. They come in size small to 2X. Oversized zip-up hoodie has drop shoulders, front pockets, rib knit trim at cuffs, and hemband. Pull-on sweatpants have elastic waistband, front twill ties, and pockets. So, I mean, not that different from Mimi's pattern. This one is intended for knits, however, sweatshirt fleece, but it's a hoodie and sweatpants. Normally, I think he does try and elevate his patterns a little bit, like leaning into the street style more. I guess with this pattern, the little detail that he added was making these more of like a flare. Like, you don't see guys wearing flare very often, especially this long where they're kind of like puddling. But the sweatshirt just kind of seems like we've done sweatshirts. I think he's even got a few sweatshirt patterns. So, kind of meh if you've been, watching his, paying attention to his patterns and his designs for a while. A little bit, I don't want to say, disappointing. Double knit, Ponte, terry knit, sweatshirt fleece, and then you'll need a ton of notions. Separating zipper, 2 strips of knit trim, like the rib knit binding, grosgrain ribbon or twill tape for the drawstring, and then the pants you need elastic and drawstring ties again. If you are hoping to make this for a female, The bust measurement goes from 34 up to 52 on that sweatshirt. And I'm assuming it's pretty roomy. Yeah, it has 12 inches of ease. So, yeah, it's a very loose fitting situation. The hip has 35, 47 inches of ease at the hip and then flares to puddle at the bottom. You can kind of see that, the intention of that here, how it's puddling. So you need like a platform sneaker. You're probably going to step on them. You know what I mean? But that's the I think little trend detail that he added this time. Okay, now we have a woman posing with an empty frame. Okay. Simplicity Mrs. Coat, sizing 6 to 14, 16 to 24, loose fitting lined coats with attached scarf. Have drop shoulders, front dart shaping, front button closure, patch pockets, top stitching, stitched hems, and length variations. So, yeah, this is super cool. I feel like, didn't we just do Vogue's Fall and they had something similar? I kind of love the idea that it's attached, matching or not matching. Matching, but not the exact same fabric, I think could be really cool. And it's gotta be warm, like really, really warm. This one has kind of like a single breasted situation, princess seams, two-piece sleeves. Like for simplicity, this is a nice pattern. And it's fully lined. So yeah, this is gonna be a nice coat for simplicity prices. Boiled wool, fleece, medium weight wools, and twill. Yeah, I think wool is probably going to be your best bet. Something blended. You don't need any notions. You need 4 buttons. 2 of them are internal, so they can look like crap if you want. So you're not going to spend a lot of money on notions. So you could even do something like a wool cashmere blend. If you're going to be making a wool coat, right? Like if you live somewhere where you would wear this a bunch and you need to be that bundled up anyways, why not make it really elevated? You're probably making 1 coat a year, right? If it's going to be this one, do it up nice. Look at me, encouraging you guys to spend all the money. Okay, so then sizing wise, yeah, 9 inches of ease in the bust. The hip has 10 inches of ease. So yeah, pretty loose fitting. You could even size down if you wanted it to be a little bit more close fitting, but just remember you're going to have like sweaters and stuff underneath. So yeah, but I love the idea of this little attached scarf. And I'm pretty sure the Vogue one had this in a contrast, which I think would look really cool. It would look separate, but they're really all one piece. So yeah, if I lived in Canada, near there, and I needed a wool coat, this would be a contender for sure. It's definitely different. It's not your normal like just wool trench coat like we've seen 1,000 times. Okay, Mrs. Blouse, Mrs. 8 to 16 and 18 to 26, button front blouses with sleeve and hemline variations have bust and waist darts. View B and C have collars that tie into bows. That feels like a flashback. View C has button cuffs, separate pattern pieces for AB cup, then C, and then D. So it is your button up pattern with a twist, which I feel like they do pretty regularly. The sleeve is kind of fun. It's an interesting detail. I don't know about the pussy bow collar. Like we did this a while ago and I never really loved it then either. It just always felt really fussy. And especially now for my style, I'm not wearing anything like this. But the other versions, is this the same? See. No. I do. Oh, the sleeve is different. I do like this. Yeah, I mean, there's some things that are interesting about it, but I just don't wear button-ups. So I'm just, yeah, having a hard time seeing myself in it. Some other things that I really like about it is the buttons stop here. So this is kind of like open. I mean, yeah, if you have to be in an office or if you just have that kind of like elevated, chic, clean style. Yeah, this is a cool pattern for sure. Let me see the back. Yay! Okay, so we do have fisheye darts in the back as well. It's a little close, a little tight in the bicep. You can see that happening here, these little drag lines. So when you go to make yours, be sure to double check your bicep measurement against the finished garment measurements of the bicep. They should be on the pattern piece, but if not, it's pretty easy to measure. And make sure you have like a good 1-inch ease there. But yeah, fun and unique, and you're not really seeing that in the stores much, which I also like that. So chambray, cotton blends, denim, poplin, also lots of shirtings. Then you'll need elastic. Oh, for the sleeve, yes. Some buttons, more buttons, more buttons. And then fit-wise, we're looking at, depending on the cup size, what is that? 4.5 inches? That's actually really roomy. And then the waist has 4 inches as well. Yeah, that feels really roomy in the bust. And it doesn't look that roomy on her. Well, maybe. I'm thinking it's probably more close to 3 inches on her. But the main thing to make sure of is that your buttons are not gaping here, or that the placket isn't gaping. So pay attention to your bust cup size on that one for sure. All right, another costume. What should be a costume? Unisex knit vests and tops. Oh boy. Sizing wise, extra small to 2XL. Fresh take on classic v-neck. Create this easy to sew unisex vest and tops. Views A and B have contrast rib finishes at neckline and hem. View B and C have long sleeves and drop shoulders. Okay, so striped fabric with rib knit trim. Like the idea that the rib knit is contrast, like all rib knit is contrast. And technically, you know what I mean? The vest is interesting to me. And then what is this? Like they give you something to applique on top. And then this also does not have the ribbing on the bottom. On the woman, it looks kind of like loose fitting. On the guy, it's kind of a little bit more fitted. This feels, I don't like that. I really don't like this. I'm getting the heebie-jeebies. But I do love the idea of a cable knit vest. Vests are a thing. Vests are happening. There's the back. Yeah, this is hitting at an odd length for the woman, I think. I don't like when things hit at my butt. I don't like having an elastic waistband around my butt. So I'd shorten this for sure. Or even lengthen it into dress length. That would be okay. But on the guy, it looks good on the guy. Okay, we are looking for stretch knits only, like cotton knits, French terry, sweater knits. And then rib knit trim. And then, yeah, oh, it's purchased applique for that letter. Okay, well. And then fitting wise, yeah, it's 6 inches of ease in the bust. So actually not that much. And then 10 in the waist. And then you're not really getting anything for the hip. So not as big as it seemed. But definitely some room to size down if you needed to. Make it as it is for like that loose fitting look, or for the females that don't want that kind of oversized look, you can definitely size down. Okay, here's Norris's other pattern. Men's jacket, small to 2X, loose fit jacket with front zipper opening as drop shoulders, contrast collar, welt pockets, and back shaped yoke. Okay, so boxy jacket. It looks like a 2-piece sleeve, but the sleeve seam is on top. So that's interesting. Then you've got a cuff and then a contrast collar. And then they mentioned something about a yoke, so in the back, so hopefully we'll get to see that. So, oh, the yoke becomes the sleeve. And then there's also whatever this is. Huh. That's interesting and cute for me. I really like this. Boiled wool, broadcloth, chino, that's what I was picturing. Corduroy, cotton blends, denim, linen blends, Melton, which is a type of wool, micro suede, stretch wovens, tweed, twill, wool blends. Gosh, that just really covers a whole lot. And then there's a lining, which I think it's fully lined. Yeah, fully lined. And then the contrast for the collar. You'll need that as well, but they are not suggesting, nope, they're not even suggest anything for the collar, so you can do that out of any of these other fabrics. So yeah, we've got 10 inches of ease in the chest. I love this one. Let me see. Look how cool that looks. It's definitely got to be a fun sew, and it's definitely got to be a super quick sew. I would do it to where it's a little bit more fitted and that it's cropped like it is on him, but on me. So I would need to crop it probably even more. But I love this. This is my standout so far for sure. It's just like, I guess the reason I like it's not like the design is all that different from other like chino type lightweight coats that we've seen, but I think that the stitching of it all makes it seem like it's a lot of fun to sew, and so that's what's got my attention more than anything. It's like, that would just be fun. Okay, here's all the kids patterns we're skipping. We're into vintage now. This is a 1970s knit dress in 2 lengths, worn forward or backward, and a sash. 8 to 16, 18 to 26. This is a jiffy pattern, which means it only has 2 main pattern pieces. Jiffy knit dress in 2 length sash sewing pattern. The short or long dress with long kimono sleeves has high straight neckline like this, like kind of like a boat neck or a bateau neck. V-shaped neckline in the back, and self fabric sash or purchase belt slipped through thread carriers. Dress may be worn with a V in the front. Short dress is regular length. What's regular? Knee. Long dress is ankle length. Okay. So it's a bat wing dress where you can do V-neck in the front or flip it around and do the back in the front, essentially. I do like the slit in the front on the long one a lot. And then it ends up being in the back if you flip it around. There, it should be right there. Huh. Oh, I have to see something. Hold on. So this girl put her hair up. I don't know why I notice weird stuff like that. Yeah, nothing groundbreaking here, but again, a super fast sew. Help you use up your knit fabric stash. They're recommending jersey knits of acetate, cotton, nylon, polyester, or rayon, such as CIRE jersey, Sire. I've never heard of that. Mat jersey, tricot. Stretchable double knits of polyester or wool. Okay. But honestly, like, you could really make it out of any, oh god, I'd probably say mid-weight jersey, only because I don't like thin jerseys on my bottom half. I just feel like it's too clingy, but mid-weight jersey would be good. All the way up to, like, you could even do like a sweatshirt. That would be really fun. Depending on how much you wanted the bat wing to stand out. You could do a sweatshirt fleece that has some rayon in it, maybe. That would be a good combination of drape and weight. Lots of fun options. This seems very limiting, but and then size wise, we have 5.5 inches of ease in the bust, 13 in the waist, which is why they give you that belt. And then the hip has, what is that? 7, 6.5, 5.5. I'm not good at math. 5.5. So yeah, easy, simple, quick sew, which, I mean, there are some times when we just need that in our lives. Like, we don't need the most complicated thing in the world. We have another Jiffy pattern. This one is for the pants and the jacket. 2 or 3 main pattern pieces per garment. Easy cut, easy sew. So, not 8 to 16, 18 to 26. Jiffy unlined wrap jacket and wide leg pants sewing pattern. The top stitched wrap jacket without shoulder seams. So grown on sleeves. Very actually similar to that cape we saw. Has shawl type collar, front patch pockets, self fabric tie belt, and extended shoulders forming short flare sleeves. The wide leg pants have back zipper, elastic waistline casing. Why do we have elastic and a zipper? Are they... Yeah, elastic and a zipper together. That seems odd. But yeah, this is basically that cape, but just not so long sleeves. And with like a collar and a wrap style versus the center front thing. So this one probably has 2 pattern pieces and this one probably has 3. Oh, that's all we're going to get. That's what the jacket looks like without the belt. That's pretty cool. Looks like an angel. So canvas denim. This is all for both of them. Canvas denim, double knits, duck, midweight wool, novelty PK, poplin, wood flannel. Pants also in chino, gabardine, and tweed. I don't see why you couldn't do the jacket in those as well. And then a zipper. This is just for the pants. And bias binding for the wrap jacket. Very cool. So they're only giving us the hip measurement, which has that 5.5 inches of ease in the hip again. I have no idea why we have elastic and a zipper though. I think you could eliminate the zipper for sure. Okay. Finding my place again. Uh-oh. Went too far. Okay. We've got some plush. We've got an apron. Now we've got some 1960s vintage jumpers in 2 lengths. Sizing 6 to 14, 14 to 22. Vintage simplicity jumpers in 2 lengths. Loose fitting jumper has deeply cut armholes. Skirt gathered to slightly dropped waistline. Versions 1, 2, and 3 have side seam pockets. Versions 1 and 2 have buttoned shoulder closing. Version 1 has with an overskirt has contrasting skirt and bias bound neck and armholes. Version 1 and 4 are below calf length. Mid calf length. Version 2 and 3 have tucked skirt. Boy, this is getting complicated. Versions 3 and 4 have buttoned closing. Version 4 has patch pockets. Oh my gosh. Okay. So what? This is, I know it's 60s, but it's kind of giving me 80s too. So square neckline, deep armhole, button front, gathered skirt. This one also has those, like, are they called pin tucks even if they go horizontal? This one especially in like the little ditzy kind of light colored pastel print looks especially 80s to me. This one has an overskirt, you can see with it's layered. And then this one's like out of some kind of like velvet or something. Yeah, I don't think they're doing themselves a lot by the way that these are styled. They're definitely giving prairie, when I think they could be a little bit cooler than that. They're recommending kind of your midweight wovens, batik, broadcloth, calico, chambray, chintz, cotton types, lightweight linen, and Oxford cloth. View 2 and 3 also in lightweight wool, pinwheel corduroy. Versions 2 and 3. Why are they different? Oh boy. Versions 2 and 3. I don't know why versions 2 and 3 get a separate fabric. Yeah. I don't see. I thought maybe the skirt wasn't gathered or something, but yeah, I don't know why they separated those out. Okay, notions, seam tape, buttons. That's it. And then fit wise, we don't get any measurements, but I want to show the line drawings so that you might be able to get a better idea of ways to style it. I don't know. I'm picturing more like a turtleneck under this, and like maybe this is denim or chambray or something. I don't know. I just feel like these puffy sleeves aren't helping. And the tights, and you know what I mean? It's just all kind of a lot. And this one says 1980s, doesn't it? That says 1980s. This says 1960s. No wonder. See, I was telling myself this looks more 80s than 60s. Okay, so this is wrong. It's supposed to be 1980s. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, now this is got to be 70s. Yeah, 70s tunic, dress, and pants. Sizing 8 to 16, 18 to 26. Vintage Simplicities, 1970s dress, tunic, and pants. Version 1 and 2 or 3 with lowered round neckline. Has front yoke with cutout opening, back zipper, and optional top stitching. Version 1 has contrast yoke and sleeves. Version 2 and 3 are sleeveless. Version 3 has slit opening at lower end of side seams. The pants for version 3 have elastic waist casing. Oh, I've seen this. I've seen her before. I've definitely seen her before. Interesting. Okay. So, yeah, you have this little, like, kind of looks like it's layered, like a bolero kind of, but it's not. And you get this little cutout detail. And then the rest of this is kind of like A-line. This one has a slit, and then you wear it matching with the pants, very 1970s set. And then the back does have fisheye darts. That's the one thing I wanted to check for. It also has shoulder darts. So lots of shaping going on there. They are looking for bonded crepe, cotton jacquard, double knit, homespun, and linen. So they're actually calling for pretty stable fabrics, honestly. Novelty PK, polyester knit, silk, and worsted wool, maybe? Silk linen. Lining fabric. How much of it is lined? Just a little bit. Probably just that little neckline piece. And then seam binding and a zipper and a hook and eye. And then pants, you need the elastic. And then finished garment measurements are on the envelope. So yeah, she could be a really cute little day dress. I'm picturing it in 2 different shades of chambray. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe also a little bit shorter. It feels really long on this girl, right? So maybe something a little bit shorter too would help. Yeah, it's below the knee here on her too, so. Alrighty. Next, is there a next? We've got, what is that? More aprons, more stuffies, bags, 1970s apron. Have aprons really changed that much? Small, medium, and large. 2 links, back wrap tie and tie apron with skirt gathered to waistband and tie ends, has patch pockets and bodice with front pleats. Lowered round neckline and back opening fastened with self fabric tie ends. Short length apron features jumbo rickrack. Above ankle length version 2 with contrasting bodice ruffles has contrasting pockets, waistband, and tie ends. A maxi length apron is definitely not something I've ever seen before or ever considered needing. But here we are. This one has these massive ruffles, which I actually think are really cute and sweet. This little tie and the patch pocket, and all three of those things are contrast fabric. This one has the jumbo rickrack on the ends. I mean, it is a really cute apron pattern. I have aprons. I never remember to put them on. Like when I'm cooking, I'm just like, I don't know, I'm never thinking of it. I'm also not in clothes that I really care about, so maybe that has more to do with it. But if you're like someone who maybe throws parties and you're like in between the kitchen and whatnot, maybe that would be helpful. I don't know. Who else? Maybe if you're doing like bread making and you do flour a lot. I don't know. I need some more examples of why we need aprons. And then on top of that, why we need literal floor length aprons. Why do we need that? So, oh, I wish they all got this big. This is so nice. Batiste canvas chintz. That's probably the thing that I've said that's made me sound old the most. What am I trying to say? It's the thing that's made me sound most old is that I like the big type, the big print. Cotton broadcloth, cotton sateen, dotted Swiss, duck, gingham, lawn, muslin, organdy, ticking, and voile. So you're, heavier end of lightweight to midweight wovens. Stripe fabric and eyelet are also contrasting options. You can do the jumbo rickrack, which I've looked up before, and it is expensive. So yeah, there's your fabric requirements, and they do give us some finished garment measurements, but none that are super helpful. So that's fun. I want to be the kind of girly that has a need for an apron, but I'm just not. We've got some holiday decor, some fall holiday decor. That's cute. It's like a gnome with fabric flowers, I think. Doll clothes. This little picnic set, maybe? Costumes. Oh my gosh. More costumes. These are the PDFs, I think. Yep, we've seen all these, seen them all. Okay, so that is it. That is Simplicity Fall for 2024. What do you guys think? Definitely some classic Simplicity silhouettes here. Definitely some basics with a twist, which is what I really like, but still very simple patterns, right? But I want to know what you guys think. So leave a comment in the comment section below. And let's chat about it. That is going to do it for me today, though. I will see you all very soon. Bye.